Let me do some summarizing. I take notes, as I always do, trying to pick some of the high points we hit. When we talked about progress, a couple things I heard there was the importance of doing an application inventory, the importance of governance and having governance in place. I heard about understanding the customer as making sure that is a focus. I heard about energy savings that are being achieved with some new cooling technologies. When we talked about the virtualization and cloud managed services, basically, yes, we're doing all that in addition to data center consolidation. They're all intermingled issues that are all being worked jointly together. We talked about security and the need for security as a driver as we move this direction, being out there. And a lot of conversation around change management. This is a big change management kind of an operation. There are a lot of cultures here. There's a lot of same old walls that need to be broken down. And you need to remember to keep all the pieces intact, and so we don't have certain things slipping. On that, we talk lessons learned, and I think, Frank, you brought that up, that you have to think of it as a system and all the pieces that fit together, because as you move certain things, you want to make sure that things are going to work the way they should work when you actually do these crossovers. A lot of conversation about the need to understand inventory and get an inventory in place prior to making these moves, and looking at things maybe that we don't need to do anymore. And are there ways, the technical debt issue came up there about, are there ways to make things more efficient before we actually move them along and reduce some of the inefficiencies we have in some of our systems. And I heard, I think it was Jerry bringing up flexibility and adaptability. We're going to need to be able to be very adaptable and flexible as these new requirements enter into the scene. Challenges, competing priorities, resources are always challenges. Governance, good governance structure to make sure everybody's on the same page. Being able to forecast and understand what the budget picture might look like the best we can. And then security jumped in there too as clearly a challenge that can't be overlooked. Future, we see more sharing, more shared environments. Perhaps some of these culture issues do break down some of these things, and we see more hybrids and shared data centers and so forth. We talked about speed and the fact that the future, it's going to be decision-making. It's going to have to be fast. We're going to have to adapt quickly. We're going to have to be agile and make changes very, very rapidly. We talked about convergence. A lot of these technologies will converge, and that will be some challenges in the terms of how we do that. And I think in the future, the thing that drove home to me the most is the mission focus. IT should be a utility, and you should focus on mission, and the infrastructure and the IT support will just be there. It's a given. It shouldn't be things that anyone's worrying about.